about your favorite total to target?
Yeah, it's probably that Green Bay game. But for parity's sake, I think targeting the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City and going on the over is pretty bullish. Like this is a high total at 54.5, 55, wherever it lands. It's right on a key number. And so if it is where it's at right now, under 55, I like it even more. If you look at both of these teams, especially from an offensive scheme perspective, Buffalo has really done well. And Brian Daboll, who's probably going to be a head coach somewhere else next year, has schemed perfectly when it comes to the playoffs and doing positive EV plays on early downs, right? Early down and distance. And that's what really gets this number up. And I get the secondary and the defense for Kansas City right now, is playing better, but they're still suspect. And I really like, and Josh Allen, you're probably buying the Bills and Josh Allen right now at his peak because of what he did last week. But if you look at this matchup earlier in the year, 38-20, they put up a ton of points. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, 7-4-1, hitting the over when the number is over 50, and Buffalo has been fantastic hitting the overs when the number has been over 50. So even though it's the highest, I have the most faith that both of these offenses will show up.
All right, Pearce, which total are you targeting?
I'll stay in that game, and I'm going to go on the other side. I know that the Bills and the Chiefs are third and fourth when it comes to points per game, but these defenses are much better than Reid is letting on. Buffalo, number one in DVOA. Buffalo, number one in points allowed. Kansas City towards the top with 17.9 points allowed at home. You look at the first 7 games, which Reid points out. Kansas City was terrible. They were allowing 29 points per game, worst in the league. Over the last 10 games, Kansas City is only allowing 16.1 points per game. That's the best in football. They've made a lot of changes on the defensive end since that last matchup against Buffalo, and it's worked, obviously. The defenses, I think, are just as good as the offenses, and they don't even have to be that great. All they have to do is turn touchdowns into field goals, and you're going to stay under this pretty lofty number.
All right, Steve, what do we think?
There are 9 teams in the NFL that had at least hit the over on 50% of their games. 2 of those teams are facing each other this week with the Rams and Buccaneers. I like the over of 47.5 in this game. Look what happened with the Rams last week or the other day against the Cardinals. They decimated the Cardinals, and that's without even really utilizing Cooper Kupp, who only made 5 catches for 61 yards. Cam Akers came back. This freak of nature came back from tearing his Achilles and then ran the ball 17 times for 55 yards. Let me tell you something. This Bucs run defense, that stone wall that they had all season long, yeah, it sprung a leak. All of a sudden, they can't stop the run. That's not good news if you have a healthy Cam Akers back. Sony Michel, who still stinks, but whatever. He's been doing pretty good. I'll give him that, okay? But I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one. The Rams have to go fast. They have to keep the Bucs off the field. But when the Bucs are on the field, they're scoring. They're going to be able to score against this Rams secondary as well. I think that game's going over.